In the meantime, let's go back to New York City. Want to get some updates on the case that is unfolding there regarding Sean Diddy Combs.
The judge has denied bail for Sean Diddy Combs. Of course, this was the hip-hop mogul's latest bid for freedom as he remains in federal jail for his racketeering and sex trafficking case.
What if the man who once ruled the airwaves and red carpets, the face of untouchable fame and fortune, is now facing the fight of his life in the shadows of a crumbling detention center? Sean Diddy Combs, a name synonymous with success in the music industry, now finds himself at the center of a storm so dark and twisted that even his most loyal fans are struggling to comprehend how he ended up here. Gone are the days of private jets, extravagant parties, and designer suits. Instead, his reality is now defined by cold, hard walls, relentless whispers of conspiracy, and the unrelenting fear that he may never escape the clutches of a system seemingly designed to crush him.
It's just incredible. And, it brings into context our whole system of innocent to proven guilty. Why is he not being given bond? And, we could debate that all day long. Of all people that's unlikely to flee or get away, well, he's got the resources to flee, but he's so recognizable. And isn't he innocent until proven guilty? Well, yeah, but, we have to recognize there are degrees of innocent until proven guilty. When you have this much...
Diddy's imprisonment at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a facility notorious for its grim conditions, has shocked the world. The once flashy mogul, known for his charismatic presence and larger-than-life persona, now appears gaunt, gray-haired, and utterly defeated. Reports from inside paint a haunting picture. A man who once seemed invincible now reduced to a shell of his former self. Observers at his recent court appearances have described him as astonishingly thinner, barely recognizable compared to the vibrant figure he was just months ago. As one journalist put it, the man who once flaunted a lavish lifestyle now looks astonishingly thinner, which is perhaps expected after months in a federal detention center. The conditions Diddy is enduring are nothing short of horrifying. The Metropolitan Detention Center has earned a reputation as a living nightmare, described by some inmates as hell on earth. And it's not hard to see why. The facility is plagued by understaffing, overcrowding, and a litany of maintenance issues that make daily life almost unbearable. Inmates are reportedly subjected to freezing temperatures in the winter, stifling heat in the summer, and unsanitary living conditions that would break even the toughest spirits. For someone like Diddy, who had grown accustomed to the comforts of mansions and five-star accommodations, the adjustment must be nothing short of brutal.
I mean, it's a legitimate concern. No judge wants to wake up and read the headlines the next day. Oh, they treated this guy special and they gave him bond, and now he's gone and he fled from justice. So that's what's in the back of most judges' minds. On the other hand, we deal with cases where clients have significant funds sometimes. Sometimes where there's money, you can craft a unique solution. Years ago, it was the ankle bracelet and the ankle monitor.
But the conditions aren't the only thing taking a toll on Diddy. Rumors swirling from inside the prison suggest that he is being deliberately targeted. Some claim that his food is being tampered with, which has led to reports that he's refusing to eat meals provided by the facility. Instead, he's allegedly surviving on commissary snacks, an existence far removed from the gourmet meals he once enjoyed. One prison consultant speculated that Diddy's fears aren't unfounded, suggesting that powerful enemies on the outside could easily have influence within the prison walls. Imagine if someone out there wanted to send a message, the consultant mused. They wouldn't need to break in, they just need to find the right person on the inside. Adding to the tension is the fact that Diddy's status as a high-profile inmate makes him a target, not just for potential enemies, but for those who might want to make an example out of him. Being a celebrity behind bars comes with a unique set of challenges. Guards, inmates, and even staff members are said to have taken an unusual interest in his presence, with some reportedly going out of their way to make his life more difficult. Others, meanwhile, are rumored to be leaking details about his day-to-day struggles to the media, feeding the public's insatiable appetite for drama.
Interesting to me that with all the money he has and all the resources he has, he couldn't craft some solution that lets him be under some form of house arrest. And again, it sounds like special treatment, but the truth of the matter is, to incarcerate somebody like him is expensive to all of us. We're taxpayers, and he's got to have unique situations. You can't put him in general population where, everyone wants a piece of him and everyone wants to be his friend and everyone.
It's not just the physical hardships that are weighing on Diddy. There's an undeniable psychological element to his current predicament. Sources from inside the prison have described him as increasingly paranoid, his once confident demeanor replaced by a constant air of anxiety. He's said to spend most of his time alone, avoiding interactions with other inmates whenever possible. And who could blame him? The walls of the detention center seem to close in tighter every day, and the whispers of betrayal and danger only grow louder.
Well, Sierra, anything's possible, right? But now this judge has an even harder time, I think, because the past judge locked him up, didn't let him out, and he's still there available for trial. If the new judge lets him out on bond and something goes wrong, and this isn't the analysis that I'm proud to make, right? We shouldn't be saying, while judges are worried about their own skin and how they look if something bad happens.
Diddy's desperate attempts to secure bail have been repeatedly denied, leaving him trapped in a place he has described to his legal team as unlivable. His lawyers have fought tooth and nail to get him released, arguing that the conditions at the detention center are unfit for anyone, let alone someone trying to prepare for a high-stakes trial. But judges have refused to budge, citing concerns about potential interference with witnesses if Diddy were allowed to return to his sprawling Miami mansion.
They're going to try everything. They're going to try to transfer him. They're going to try to get him out. You know, in a normal case where it's a high-profile person or a well-funded person, the prosecution and the judge is a little bit more concerned about wrongful prosecution because people that are mad that they're being arrested for a crime they didn't commit can turn around and file for malicious prosecution.
The desperation in Diddy's legal maneuvers is palpable. His team has reportedly explored every possible angle, from appealing directly to the Bureau of Prisons to requesting transfers to other facilities, but so far, every effort has been met with resistance. Some have speculated that his inability to secure a transfer may be part of a larger, more sinister plan to keep him exactly where he is, vulnerable and isolated. Meanwhile, outside the prison walls, the reactions to Diddy's downfall have been mixed. For years, he was a polarizing figure, hailed as a genius by some and criticized as ruthless by others. Now, as he faces the consequences of his alleged actions, his detractors are seizing the opportunity to revel in his demise. Whispers of schadenfreude have spread among those who claim to have been wronged by him in the past. He's finally getting what he deserves, one anonymous source reportedly said, with a tone that suggested a long-awaited sense of justice.
Diddy will be sued. And I say will be because nothing has been filed yet, by at least 120 people in the next 30 days.
But even as some celebrate his downfall, others can't help but feel a sense of pity. After all, this isn't just a story about a fallen star. It's a cautionary tale about the perils of power and the fragility of human dignity. Watching Diddy waste away in a detention center known for its inhumane conditions has left some questioning whether the punishment truly fits the crime. How much suffering is enough to satisfy the demands of justice? And at what point does the line blur between accountability and cruelty? As the days turn into weeks, Diddy's situation only grows more dire. Reports suggest that he's losing weight at an alarming rate, his once muscular frame now reduced to a frail shadow of its former self. Observers at his court appearances have noted that his clothes hang loosely on his body, a stark contrast to the tailored suits he once wore with pride. His face, once so full of life, now appears hollow and gaunt, his eyes sunken and filled with a haunting mixture of fear and resignation.
Every jail is bad. Some jails are worse than others. And the problem, again, is if you move him, why is he getting special treatment? And maybe he's earned special treatment. Maybe what he's done, maybe he's given so much back to his fans and to the world and to charity that maybe there's a way that it plays out again. But again, to go into court and say this jail is bad, move him to another jail.
Even his health has become a topic of concern. While his legal team insists that he remains mentally sharp and focused in his defense, others have raised questions about whether he's truly in a fit state to withstand the pressures of his upcoming trial. The stress of his situation, combined with the physical toll of his imprisonment, has left some wondering how long he can endure before something gives. And yet, despite the overwhelming odds stacked against him, Diddy remains a figure of fascination. The world watches with bated breath, eager to see how his story will unfold. Will he emerge from this ordeal stronger, a phoenix rising from the ashes? Or will he become another cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most powerful can fall?
There's no way. They can't move him to the general population. Would he be at risk? Sure, he'd be at risk. There's so many people that have nothing to lose, right? They're going to be in jail the rest of their life. They've got nothing to. They want their 15 minutes of fame. They were friends with Diddy, or they hurt Diddy, or they did. I mean, there's so many, people in jail that this would be their moment. You can't put them there. Plus,
the whispers of conspiracy grow louder. One thing becomes clear. Diddy's story is far from over. In fact, it's only just beginning. Behind the scenes, forces are at play that could change everything. Secrets are being kept, alliances are being tested, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Because in a world where power and influence reign supreme, the line between truth and fiction is often blurred, and the real story is rarely the one we're told. What if Diddy's downfall isn't just the result of his alleged misdeeds? What if there's something deeper, something far more sinister at play? The whispers of conspiracy surrounding Scene Diddy. Calms have grown louder in recent weeks, and they paint an unsettling picture of a man who may not just be fighting for his freedom, but for his very life. Could it be that Diddy is the victim of a betrayal so calculated, so ruthless, that it's left him trapped in a web of powerful forces pulling the strings from behind the scenes? Let's dig deeper into the mystery that's left even his most loyal fans questioning everything.
I came here today just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
Behind every great empire lies a network of protectors, people who operate in the shadows, ensuring the powerful stay powerful. And for years, Diddy seemed untouchable. He built his fortune on his own terms, mastering the art of reinvention and silencing his critics with an overwhelming show of success. But according to some rumors, that success may not have been entirely self-made. Speculation has emerged that Diddy's rise to fame was aided by influential figures who had their own reasons for keeping him at the top. These figures, often described as untouchable elites, allegedly shielded Diddy from the consequences of various controversies throughout his career. Whether it was legal troubles, financial missteps, or personal scandals, he always seemed to emerge unscathed, his reputation intact. But what happens when the very people who once protected you decide it's time for you to fall? Some insiders believe that Diddy's current predicament is the result of a calculated betrayal by these unseen forces. The theory goes like this. Diddy had long been privy to secrets, powerful, damaging secrets that could bring down more than just his empire. For years, he played along, keeping those secrets buried in exchange for their protection. But something changed. Maybe he stepped out of line, or maybe he became a liability. Whatever the reason, the same people who once shielded him are now allegedly orchestrating his downfall.
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, assault, and at the hands of Diddy.
One of the most chilling aspects of this theory is the idea that Diddy's legal troubles are just the tip of the iceberg. According to rumors, his arrest and detention are part of a larger strategy to silence him before he can reveal what he knows. A former associate of Diddy, speaking on condition of anonymity, claimed that the mogul had been growing increasingly paranoid in the months leading up to his arrest. He knew something was coming, the source said. He started talking about how he couldn't trust anyone anymore, how he felt like he was being watched. The timeline of events only adds fuel to the fire. Just weeks before his arrest, Diddy was reportedly working on a tell-all project, one that promised to expose the inner workings of the entertainment industry, including the shadowy dealings of its most powerful players. Some have speculated that this project was the final straw, the moment when those in control decide he had to be stopped. Could it be that Diddy's decision to speak out was seen as a betrayal, one that could not go unpunished?
To have them cooperate and testify against Sean Combs, or whether down the line there'll be additional charges and additional defendants on the indictment.
We are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do.
Adding to the intrigue is the list of names allegedly connected to Diddy's case. According to reports, he handed a piece of paper to a corrections officer just days before his transfer, a list of individuals he claimed were involved in a sprawling network of corruption. While the contents of the list have not been made public, rumors suggest it included high-profile politicians, executives, and even some of his former allies in the music industry. The implications are staggering. If Diddy's claims are true, it would mean that his arrest isn't just about the charges he's facing. It's about silencing someone who knows too much.
Maybe some solution where his money could help us craft. I mean, he could build his separate jail cell, and we could keep him there. Just interesting to me that they sort of said, nope, you're going to be treated not like everybody else, but a lot like everybody else. Having money doesn't do it. So I wouldn't want to be those judges.
But how do you silence someone as high profile as Diddy without drawing attention? Some believe the answer lies in his treatment behind bars. From reports of him being kept in isolation to allegations of food tampering, it seems as though every aspect of his detention is designed to break him down. A prison consultant familiar with the Metropolitan Detention Center described the facility as a place where anything can happen, if you know the right people. The consultant went on to suggest that Diddy's fears of being poisoned, while extreme, are not entirely unfounded. When you're dealing with someone who has as many enemies as he does, you can't rule anything out, they said. Then there's the matter of Diddy's sudden transfer to an undisclosed location. Officially, the move has been described as routine, but insiders have hinted at a more sinister motive. One theory is that the transfer was orchestrated to cut him off from his legal team and any outside support, further isolating him in the lead up to his trial. Another theory suggests that the transfer was a precautionary measure, a way to keep him alive, but only long enough to ensure he doesn't spill any secrets.
Now, to the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get here?
The idea of a conspiracy may sound far-fetched, but it's not without precedent. Throughout history, powerful figures who have threatened to expose the truth have often found themselves silenced in one way or another. And in Diddy's case, the stakes couldn't be higher. If the rumors are true, he's not just fighting for his reputation or his freedom. He's fighting against forces that will stop at nothing to protect their own interests. The question remains, why now? Why, after decades of success and influence, has Diddy suddenly become a target? Some believe the answer lies in the shifting dynamics of power within the entertainment industry. Over the past few years, there's been a growing push for transparency and accountability, with more and more individuals coming forward to expose wrongdoing. In this climate, someone like Diddy, who has long been seen as an untouchable figure, represents both a threat and an opportunity. By taking him down, those in power can send a message to anyone else who might be thinking of speaking out. But there's another, even darker possibility. What if Diddy's downfall is not just about silencing him, but about erasing him entirely? Some have pointed out that his recent court appearances seem almost staged, with Diddy looking unrecognizable and behaving in ways that are uncharacteristic of him. Could it be that the man we're seeing is not the real Diddy, but someone carefully coached or even replaced to ensure the narrative stays on track? It's a wild theory, but in a case as bizarre as this one, nothing seems entirely out of the question.
Public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now, I think it really underscores the magnitude of what he's facing and the weight of the federal government.
As the trial date approaches, the tension surrounding Diddy's case continues to build. His legal team has promised to fight back, but even they seem to be operating under immense pressure. One of his lawyers was overheard saying, "This isn't just a legal battle, it's a war." Meanwhile, the public remains divided. Some see Diddy as a fallen hero, a man who flew too close to the sun and paid the price. Others see him as a scapegoat, a victim of a system that chews up and spits out anyone who dares to challenge it.
I think it's to be expected, just the shock of this and the questions about what is ahead of us. I mean, how long is he going to be in custody? Is this an R. Kelly situation? Is he going to not get out for a number of years? Is he going to end up serving a long-term prison sentence from this? Or does he have a chance of beating these charges at a trial that could come?
Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. Diddy's story is far from over. The forces at play are complex, and the stakes are higher than anyone could have imagined. As the world watches and waits, the question on everyone's lips is the same. Will Diddy rise again, or has his empire finally crumbled for good? The answers may lie in the secrets he's been trying to protect. Secrets that, if revealed, could change everything. So, what do you think? Is Diddy's downfall a mere consequence of his actions, or is there a deeper, more sinister plot at play? Could it be that the same forces that once protected him are now orchestrating his demise? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going and uncover the truth together. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the narratives around you. Goodbye for now.